Padres fans, we got some things I'm worried about. Got to talk about the game against the Brewers today as the Padres suffer the loss for the last time in the regular season with Dylan Cease. They have some injuries. They have some other bad. There's a little bit of good, but it's all sprinkled around that we got to talk about. Like I said, I got some things I'm seriously concerned about. What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Pedersen, back with another episode of Padres Digest, the show that decided now that the Padres have the postseason clinched, they're going to the righty for the post-game reaction videos. What's happening? I'm filling in for Andrew. He's been pushing this more than I have, but as the thank you for you guys hitting 2,500 subscribers, we are flipping around, and he's taking the serious punditry video today. I'm doing the reactions. If you want to hit subscribe, we'd love it. If you want to hit comment, heck yeah, let's talk about everything. The short of it is that I get handed a 3-1 loss to talk about. The long of it is that there is good and bad to take away from this. The good that I can take away from this is that the Padres overall, they didn't get blown out. They lost a day game after a night game. They've clinched. They've won the series against the Brewers. The Brewers might have been coasting a little bit. I'm not here to. I don't want to too deeply philosophically unpack that, but this is the final. The final score, but I think there's more to it that I want to get to concern-wise. The main factual big-time concern thing that we got to talk about is Ramon Laureano leaving the game in the third inning. Here's the tweet from AJ Cassavell: has a fractured finger in his hand, according to Mike Shildt, and will be out through at least the first round. Okay. We have clinched the playoffs. We have won a series against the Brewers without Fernando Tatis being here. I'm trying to be in the good mood thing, but I also love Ramon Laureano. I think that his contributions cannot be overappreciated, overstated, and losing him at least through the first round is hard because the Padres seem to be exactly at the point where it's okay. They can win big series now. They have a good enough team in this one specific iteration. Ramon Laureano, though, is a part of that. He is a big part of that. He is a good hitter. He is a good fielder. He is a good, reliable, fill in all of the blanks. That has been an amazing trade for him. Ryan O'Hearn has also been great, but has not gotten the appreciation for it, given that Laureano came in and has really filled a hole. There was a gap in left field that we did not have. We now go back to having that gap, ... question mark. You can talk about maybe putting Sheets back out there in left so that it's Sheets and O'Hearn. And we can say, maybe over a 5-game span, Sheets won't be exposed as a 240 hitter, but he can hit 260 or 270. Maybe, sure. I'm also concerned through the at least. We just saw Xander come back from a month off and of a broken bone, and it's a foot versus a hand, a fracture versus all that. But still, I got to think that a 2-week turnaround time is not overly optimistic for getting Ramon Laureano back with something in here being broken when you got to swing and catch and throw. Okay, deal. So there you have it. Ramon, in this game, we lose, and Ramon Laureano breaks his finger. So that's my main point of concern. My second point of concern, and then I promise we will get to some of the optimism, is Dylan Cease's line in the final outing of the season for Cease, in a season that has been very forgettable for Cease. 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 2 strike, or 1 run, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. 8 Ks, 5 innings. Padres still lose it. They get 1 earned run from Cease. This number is honestly kind of lowish, mid-key, the best that we're going to get from that's not a horrible start. That number right there is not bad. I feel like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. They're like, this pen, I'm trying really hard, but it's a bummer and it's concern. It's like a thing where, hey, even when we get our best outing, because if I said, given the season that Cease's had, we put this out there as a playoff outing, and then the bullpen takes over, we lost that game today. We're not going to lose that game every day. Extenuating circumstance, maybe of day game after night game after other guys, Tatis, not like, okay, sure. But that also concerns me, is that even on a day where we don't have really the scapegoat of being like, oh, Cease was trash and he threw all this. He threw a pretty good game. 8 Ks. Sure, he could have been better. He could have thrown a perfect game, but like, I will take that 9.5 out of 10 times. 10 out of 10 times in the postseason. But so to me, more concern. Talking about the optimism, let's end with some good stuff, because there were some moments in there that the Padres had some positives, some pluses, and I am not as good as my co-host Andrew is at cutting video and getting it in here as quickly. So I'm going with some static images for you. But bottom 6, Jackson Merrill hits a home run, his 16th of the year. We have talked ad nauseum about the power issues for the Padres this year, and I'm not talking about electricity. I'm talking about their inability to hit for any sort of real major slugging percentage throughout that order. And Merrill getting 16, I got to take any positive on the power hitting front just to hope that we can get some guys hitting as good as they can, because if he gets 2 in a series against the Cubs, that could be the difference given where he's at in the lineup on a lot of these. So I liked that. That was hugely a positive. Loved seeing it. Another one that I liked was seeing Xander. He had a ball hit to as close to the deepest part of the park as you can, but this is him swinging it. He was confident. It got robbed for a home run, but this, on the flip side of our Laureano injury, and talking about him missing a month and being out, seeing Xander coming back, playing today, and sure, it got robbed, but that swing, all of the pieces looked like they were good. So I can, maybe he is a glass china doll and he's sitting there just waiting to be broken again, but currently it does seem like Xander is well put together and is going to be able to give us at least a solid non-scapegoaty effort in the playoffs. Another thing that I liked from this one was seeing the fire from Mike Shildt. Here you see this. I will leave the reenactment of all this to John Boy Media if he wants to, as always, do the great work that he does on these managerial lip readings and stuff. But yeah, Mike Shildt ends up getting tossed, and I love that. I think that that's a positive. I think that given where we're at in terms of it's clinched, he could say, hey, let's just coast. But no, he's out there fighting a little bit. There's a little sometimes it's one of those things where you do look back and be like, okay, X, Y, and Z all added up to be success. And part of that sometimes is just your ability to light a fire under guys. And that's what I liked about that. Hey, man, Bobby Cox, Lou Piniella, a lot of those guys got tossed a ton, but they won a ton because they were just that kind of fiery dude. And they knew sometimes you got to get your guys on your side or whatever. There might be a million different ways to dice that up, but I liked that as well. So in conclusion, because I'm now starting to just ramble, I will remind you all that it is a loss. We both in the win-loss column, but also Ramon Laureano is now out for the remainder of this season and into at least the first round of the playoffs. We will have more. I'm sure there'll be plenty of information on his rehab assessment and attempt to get through it as quickly as possible. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and drop a comment on anything else you want to see a video on. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon.